question 4. Um, we ended on question 3, and I hope you had solved E and F on that question 3 that left out. Okay, so question 4 was saying, what do you understand by the demand, supply, quantity supplied, and quantity demanded? That was our question 1. So what do you understand by demand? Demand is simply the willingness and the ability. Before you even talk about any other thing, you have to understand to say for you to demand for something, you have to have the you have to be willing. Okay, if you're willing to get something, it means that we can call you a demander. Okay, so demand is simply the willingness and the ability. So the ability, you have to have the ability. You can't demand for something without having the ability to get the thing. So demand is simply the willingness and the ability of a consumer to consume a good or a service um, on various prices, okay, at various prices on a given period of time. Okay, we are going to hold everything constant ceteris paribus. So you can, in simpler ways, demand is simply the willingness and the ability of a consumer to consume goods or services at a given prices at a specific period of time, ceteris paribus. Okay, now what is supply? Supply, while we are putting consumers that are demanding for a certain good. Here we just say suppliers that are willing to supply. So we say supply is simply the ability for suppliers to supply the willingness and the ability of suppliers to supply goods and services at various combinations of prices and the quantity they can supply at a given period of time, ceteris paribus. Okay, it's the same thing, but we just put in suppliers there. Now, what is quantity supplied? Quantity supplied is simply the specific so it's simply the specific quantity that is going to be supplied by these suppliers that we talked about. Okay, so it's simply the quantity, the specific quantity that is going to be supplied by the suppliers when they start supplying. Okay, example, in this table that we have this as the quantity that they were willing to supply at various combinations of various prices here. So at this much they are willing to supply 0, at that much they are willing to supply 0, at that much they are willing to supply 40. So the ability of the willingness, the exact quantity that they are already willing to supply at a given price at a specific period of time. Okay, we're going to hold everything constant, but price is the one that is varying. That's what we mean when we say holding everything constant there. Okay, now what is quantity demanded? It's the same thing as supply. um, um, the specific supply that, I mean, quantity that is supplied, but we say the specific quantity that is going to be demanded by the consumers at given various prices. Okay, you know that the consumer always want to consume, who always want free things. So at 0 prices, they are willing to demand 200 quantity of the good, and at 0.50 they are willing to consume 0. Okay, so that is about about supply, demand, and quantity supplied together with quantity supplied demanded. Okay, question 2 is saying the following table, which is the same table that we've been playing on. So this one was saying the following table shows the demand and the supply for chocolate. So here we've been given various combinations of prices with the quantity demanded and the quantity supplied. Okay, so question A was saying plot the demand and the supply curves using the information in the table. So plotting this, our curve is going to look something like this. The supply curve is upward sloping, the demand curve is like that. Probably we are going to have the equilibrium price, or equilibrium price and quantity, and the equilibrium point is going to be there. So this is the equilibrium price, and that's the equilibrium quantity. We have quantity there, it's plotted against quantity, 0 there, and price there. So this is how it will look like if we plot this. we plot price, we put price there. We start 0 something, 0 10 like that, we put here, and the quantity we just put we put it there, and we plot our graphs, and it will look like that. Okay, they're going to look like that. Now, I'm sorry about that, I have a cough though. Otherwise, okay, continuing from where we ended, question B was saying, what is the equilibrium price and quantity of chocolate? So equilibrium quantity and price, you have first to understand what the equilibrium price is and the equilibrium quantity is. Equilibrium price is simply defined as the equilibrium price is simply the point where the quantity demanded is equals the quantity supplied. So the quantity demanded is equals to the quantity supplied. So that is the equilibrium price. And then equilibrium quantity is simply the quantity bought and sold at the equilibrium price. Okay, so those are the definitions that you can put there. So for you to find what the equilibrium price and quantity are, you first have to understand what the equilibrium price is here. You go on the curve, you check which ones are the same. So the equilibrium price here will be 0.30, and the quantity will be 80, because even here there will be 80. There's 80 there, so those two are meeting there. So there's 80. I mean the price is the price is 0.3, and the quantity that is 80 there. Then C is saying, why is the demand curve downward sloping and the supply curve upward sloping? Okay, so the main reason why the demand curve is downward sloping is because demand has a negative or inverse it has an inverse relationship with the price, I mean with the quantity demanded. Okay, so demand has an inverse relationship with price. When price goes up, quantity demanded will go down. Okay, when price goes down, the quantity demanded will go high. So that is about demand. That's the reason the demand curve is downward sloping, to be like that, while the supply curve is upward sloping, because it has a direct relationship. You can say a positive relationship. That's okay, because when price goes high, the quantity demanded will go. When price goes high, the quantity supplied will go high. When quantity falls down, the quantity supplied will go down. Why is that? When consumers see to say, okay, the market price is now high, they'll make sure that they produce more units of a good, so that they make profits. While when the price goes down, they will produce less of a quantity, which causes shortage in the market. And while this one causes surplus of the quantity, because consumers will also not buy more when the price goes high, so it will cause supply more so there will be surplus in the market, while there will be shortage in the market. Okay, so that is all for today. Watch other videos that I've already uploaded. Share the link with your friends. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Do not forget to like. Okay, otherwise I hope that you guys that are preparing for the exams, you study smart, and these videos will help. Okay,